Hello, dear viewers. Thanks for staying tuned in to your Pan-African channel, Africanews. This is the Football Planet, and I am Victor Mwisio. Coming up for you in this program, now the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cup season officially got underway over the weekend. We'll be taking a review on some of the action around the continent, but our focus will be on one tough pounding affair that took place on Saturday in the Congolese city of Madingu between home side AC Leopards and Togolese giants AS Togo de Lomé. Then in Egypt, for the first time since 2012, football returned to the Port Said Stadium on Saturday. Now, the stadium is the site that saw 72 people die in Egypt's worst violence at a soccer stadium. The stadium is also home to Egyptian club Al Masry, who thrashed Zambian side Green Bullets 4-0 on the opening weekend of action in this year's African Confederations Cup. Details on that coming up. And UEFA Champions League football returns this week with some spicy round of 16 fixtures lined up. Paris Saint-Germain go up against its Spanish giants Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. We have gathered some comments from both sides ahead of the fixture. Our continental football is already on. The CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup kicked off over the weekend, and it saw some interesting matchups in various cities across the continent. We'll focus on one tough pounding affair that took place, as we said, on Saturday in the Congolese city of Madingu between their home side, the AC Leopards and Togolese giants AS Togo de Lomé. We have that report. Congolese giants AC Leopards overcame a stubborn Togolese side AS Togo Lomé Port to grab a 2-1 advantage ahead of the return match in Lomé. The Dolisie Leopards, who had a scrambling game that lacked efficiency in the attack, had to settle for a 0-0 result at the break after a disjointed first half from both sides. The Congolese side that was enjoying home advantage and support from the home crowd were rewarded in the 49th minute when Lino Masombo struck to make it 1-0 for the home side. The visitors, however, pulled a goal back in the 68th minute through Abubakar Bemba Sangare's strike. The stung Leopards pushed for a winner that came in the 70th minute courtesy of Cesar Dolly Sydney Ganze, who struck from 25 minutes to complicate the afternoon for the hopeful Togolese. AS Togo coach decried the lack of experience by his young players and the modernity of the pitch compared to their own.
We lost by an honourable scoreline. I dare to say it, and I think that we'll make every effort to advance to the second round. Our synthetic turf is old, I think 10 years old, and compared to that here, there's a big difference, and it affected my players. But later, they pulled themselves together, and we equalized. Had it not been for the clumsiness of our defenders, we would not have cashed the second goal. Would have gone out with a draw.
For the Congolese coach Cyril Ndonga, this is only the first step towards a long journey that has only just begun.
In my humble opinion, I believe there's a lot we need to work on, and I'm aware. We'll have to get down to work hard to fix some issues. Most of these young people are fresh in the Champions League football. I think we should not be too demanding. I think a long journey begins with a single step. It was so important to go home with 3 points this afternoon. Well, we can say that it is a narrow victory, but a very important altogether. And we'll make the trip to Lomé with a clear desire to qualify.
L'AC Léopards de Dolisie a certes gagné au complexe sportif de Madingu face à la formation de...
It is here at the Madingu Sports Complex where the AC Leopards of Dolisie beat AS Togo Port 2-1, a victory that left a bitter taste to the Togolese supporters. They must be prepared to snatch the qualification to the round of 16 in a week's time in Lomé.
Dans une semaine à Lomé. Hervé Kiminomissou, Madingu, Africanews.
And now let's have a quick look at some of the results from other matches that were played across the continent. Rioting erupted at the end of a league match between Al Ahly and Al Masry in the Egyptian Mediterranean city of Port Said back in February 2012. 72 people died in Egypt's worst violence at a soccer stadium. Now, that riot led to suspension of Egypt's top-flight football for over a year. It later resumed, but with matches played in empty stadiums. Now, Port Said has been reopened, and there were no ugly incidences. Let's have a look at the following report. 6 years after Egypt's worst soccer disaster, supporters of Al Masry Sporting Club in Port Said have finally been allowed to re-enter the local stadium. Security was heightened on Saturday as hundreds of fans flocked to the stadium wearing the green colors of Al Masry and chanting for their side. Only 10,000 fans were sold tickets to attend the CAF Confederation's Cup game against Zambian side Green Buffaloes. The Egyptians thrashed the Zambians 4-0. Fans of the local club were banned from attending games after a stadium riot in February 2012 saw more than 70 dead. The soccer stadium deaths came at the end of a match between Cairo's Al Ahly and Al Masry and have been a flashpoint for protests across Egypt.
I wish they are all allowed throughout Egypt, not only in Port Said. We have been wronged for the past 6 years. The stadium has been shut down for the past 6 years. All the supporters are good people who love football and love the club. We have been waiting for this for a long while. We had nothing to do with what happened. Port Said is innocent from what happened, but thank God.
The teams in Port Said incident are longtime rivals. Witnesses said the rioting broke out after Cairo fans unfurled banners insulting the local team, which had won the match 3-1. And crossing over to Europe, UEFA Champions League football returns this week with some spicy round of 16 fixtures lined up. Paris Saint-Germain go up against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, we have gathered some of the comments from both sides ahead of that matchup.
We're almost ready. We'll be ready soon. The coach will work again. He will improve a little bit. He'll say a little on how we have to play, how to adopt, how to defend, and also give us a strategy. Then we'll be ready. We think about it. After all, we'll try to play every game as it comes and not think of real. In the league, we've been good. We've made a very good run so far. Now that this game is over, we can start to focus on Wednesday's game and start recovering and working on what needs to be adjusted in relation to this match against Real Madrid. It is true that things have not happened as we have wished a few times, but we know who we are. We know that when there are days or difficult times, you have to know how to hold on, continue to work and think positively. We know our strengths, and we're able to change all that quickly. I know we're going to give it all, neither me nor you. Nobody knows what's going to happen on Wednesday, but we'll figure it out, nothing more. I'm counting on Isco. I want him to stay here all his life, and that's not going to change, because he's a very good player. He showed it well, and he will always show it.
And now we are going to have a brief look at some of the other crucial round of 16 ties that will be played this week across Europe. And that does it for this week on Football Planet. Wahani Johnson Sambu will be with you from next Monday. I'm Victor Mwisio, and from me and the production team led by Marik Amona, we wish you a fabulous week.